It was an image that stunned the world, and if you saw it, you'll never forget it. 3-year-old Alan Kurdi's lifeless body washed ashore on a beach in Turkey. It was a tragic glimpse of the reality refugees fleeing the Syrian war were experiencing, but it was just one of many from a conflict that has now been raging for a decade. I sat down with Alan Kurdi's aunt, Tima Kurdi, to check in on her family.
Tima, your life has not been the same since 2015 when your brother's wife, Rehana, and their two children, Elan and Galib, were killed when they were trying to escape the war in Syria. You've been on this fight since 2015 to draw attention to the plight of refugees. But just this past year in October, you suffered a breakdown. What happened?
To be honest, the past 5.5 years, I was, traveling around and, visiting a refugee camp and trying my best to be the voice and bring more awareness to the suffering of people. And I know after the tragedy that, my doctor was saying, that the depression I had, PTSD, and I didn't want to believe it because I keep going and travel and hearing a story. But when I actually talk to the refugee and hearing their story, I take it really deeply to my heart and think about it for months and every single day. So, and the other part, I am the only one take care of my whole family also from Syria, they are in Turkey and everywhere. And so actually after that, my visit last year in October, after I get back from Germany, and I have to quarantine, of course, for 2 weeks in a room. And all of a sudden, I had that emotional depression that I cannot even explain it and put it in words. It's almost like somebody's pulling your soul out of you. It's so painful enough. I just need to disconnect from the world. And so I did that. I didn't talk to anybody for 4.5 months, every single day.
Tima, that image from 2015 of little Alan's body on the beach in Turkey was widely seen as the wake-up call that the world needed to the crisis that was happening in Syria. Donations came in from countries like Canada and others. They opened their door to tens of thousands of refugees. But all these years later, has the world started to forget again what's happening and the need for refugees?
Yes, I would say, we start to forget because the tragedy is there. We have a tragedy every single day. People forget because they watch the news, they look for the refugee situation, how they live. They feel sorry, of course, for them. But we almost feel like, okay, we turn our back and go on in our life because it's not our reality. They are over there, we are over here.
Tima, can you be our eyes and ears for just a moment? You have access to these refugee camps that house thousands, tens, sometimes some places hundreds of thousands of people. What are living conditions like?
It's really unacceptable. When you are in the ground, it's so completely different from what the image we see, but for me, I concentrate mostly on those children because they are so innocent. They don't know any other different life. But the parents who I sit with them and talk to them when they cry, I cry with them because they worry about the future. They said, look at children playing and laughing. We don't know what wrong they did. They don't even know what the other life behind that fence for them.
Your brother Abdullah, those photos showed the body of his son Elan, but he also lost a second son, Galib, and his wife, Rehana. How is your brother doing today?
My brother, actually, he got remarried and they have a baby boy again, and he will be actually 1 year old next month, and he named him Alan. And it's the world for him. You know, I really thank God. At least it's easy his pain. He will never forget. But also he concentrates so much on helping the children at the camp. And we're trying from the Kurdi Foundation. It's not big, but it's small, but we can make a difference.
Tima, it sounds to me like you're on a mission to save everyone. You want to save the people in the camps. You want to save the family members who are still who are living overseas, and you want to bring them here. You're hoping for the children in refugee camps. That's a lot for one person to carry.
I believe every one of us in this earth, we are born for a purpose. We all have the power to do something and give hope to every person. You know, for me, you know, who am I? I am nobody, and I just have a voice, and I want to continue to be the voice and urge people around the world to stand up from your silence urgently and help anybody you can.
This war, this 10 years of this war, has created 5 million refugees. 5 million refugees. What do you want to see done to help them?
Sometimes, you know, I always also remember when a year before the virus hit Canada, and all of a sudden we saw the people rushing to the grocery store and buy stuff. It's like almost like a war zone. And for me, you know, it's when I compare those two. So when you are desperate, you do everything what you can. So those refugee is nothing compared what we had here in Canada. So I wish, you know, every leader around the world to put the politics on the side and concentrate on the suffering of the people.
Tima, it's been a real honor to speak with you today. Thank you for coming on Your Morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.